All right, it's 7 o'clock. Let's get started. Welcome everyone. So we have a special request. So Mr. St. Myers has been diligently searching for the meeting minutes so that we can fill out the history on the website. And he just passed out a request for the ones that are missing from the previous 4 years. So we will all take a look for those. There's even one missing from 2019, so everyone can participate. And then we'll bring in next month, so for our next meeting in November, whatever you have from this list, bring it in, and then we'll see if we can get everything all together and get that passed along to Laura. Okay, great. Okay, so verification of quorum, which is 6 people. Looks like we have greater than 6 people. I have one item before the review of the action items, which is Aaron, our fellow committee member, was unable to be here tonight due to working nights. So Aaron had a request that he asked me to pass on to everyone. So he has missed 3 total meetings this year due to his work schedule, that he works nights and he travels quite a lot. And he just wanted to check with committee members. He's very interested in staying on the committee, but will typically miss 2 or 3 meetings a year, and just wanted to make sure that that was okay with everyone. So I don't know how we can say yay or nay in a particular way, but maybe if you have an issue, you can talk to me directly after the meeting when we open up for review of action items. You can either say on the record or you can say privately, whatever you feel comfortable with, so I can provide Aaron with a tally of how we feel about that. As you recall from our code, it's if you miss 3 meetings or more than half of the meetings in a year, then you're dismissed. But as you also recall, we're working on adding in into the bylaws that you may have excused meetings. And his meetings, as being for his work schedule, would, in my opinion, fall under the excused category, since his work schedule and he knows quite a lot in advance. So let's think about that. And the second thing is that when I was volunteering at a water stop, I happened to be volunteering with our fellow City of Perrysburg friend, Weatherman Ryan of Wood County Plays, and he said that he would love to send someone from his group to talk to us, either in our November meeting or next year. He said he would have somebody available on our November date. So what do you guys think about having Ryan or someone in his group that does the inclusive playgrounds come in and talk to us about their plans? Their plans are with not only the city parks, but also with the schools. So everybody think that that would be a nice guest to bring in and relevant to our topic? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. I also got his email, so I will continue coordinating with Weatherman Ryan due to my lucky second volunteer project there. Okay, good. It was mile 9, it was a rough day. Okay, not for me, for the people running. Okay, so I do not have any specific action items from our August 5th meeting. And sorry about the late notice of canceling the September meeting due to multiple conflicts in this room. When we set the meeting schedule, we weren't planning on being here, so we didn't check. And then thank you to Heather for realizing that there was another committee scheduled in here, same time, same date. We can't all do it. So sorry about that, and thank you all for understanding. So we have one more meeting, so we'll just mark our calendars now. Our one more meeting, November 4th, here, 7 p.m. That's the first Monday. And during that meeting, I'll just mention our item that we're planning. We'll plan to set the schedule for 2020 during our next meeting. So we will make sure that we have the city calendar out so that we don't have any conflicts. All right, that is Okay, so that'll be our plan. So we'll hop on the calendar and
that's here
it's
again.
right here, but in the future. Okay, does anyone else have an action item from our last meeting that they took that I don't have on my notes here?
Did we get a revised copy of the July minutes? Because there were amendments made to the July minutes. Did we get a copy of that?
I don't think we got a copy. Do you know if the July minutes are posted on the website? Okay, why don't we check? I made the edits that we talked about.
There was a correction, I had a correction on that.
Was it correct or we don't know?
I don't know,
Okay,
it was on there.
I see May and July.
okay. So the July minutes are on. We can take a look at what the final minutes are, and then if you have a correction to those, then we'll make that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we've got the August meeting minutes that was passed out on it was passed out in your email this morning, and then it's also right here in front of you. So does anyone have any updates to the Rotary Park? I was just going to make a note that the master plan, the schematic was distributed to the committee.
I have one correction to make on the minutes.
Sure.
My last name is H-A-R-B-A-U-E-R.
You got an extra R?
Got an extra R.
Oh, Liz, did you have your R? You have your R. You have all of your R's.
No, I got an extra R, and you use an R.
I'll give you my R.
All right.
Well, and if we're on that as well, Guilds is with a T, not two thing.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, got those. Oh, sorry for moving right on to the first paragraph. All right, anyone have any updates on the park reports?
It would be baseball, not basketball diamond.
For
Rivercrest.
Oh,
No, I think that's right. The basketball diamonds look great. They're fantastic.
okay, and then I'm going to ask for the very end, the municipal code, that will just say, see the markup of the municipal code and the markup of the bylaws, so we don't have to repeat everything and double check from here to there, that we can just have the two additional documents. Anyone have any additional comments?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as edited.
Second.
All right, good. We'll move on to our next item of park reports.
Do you mind if I do a roll call for minutes?
Oh, yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So just when I say your name, say yes or no or abstain for meeting, to approve the meeting minutes.
Oh,
Is that okay?
yeah, that's great. That's really great.
Here?
Oh, sorry. That's correct.
No.
I thought he had a.
Oh, he does have a change that we were discussing, just a clerical
You're certainly allowed
on
to do
the
that.
minutes, and it's another edit.
Ready?
Okay, it's in the municipal code, where the operations member should be manager.
Your promotion is approved.
Alright.
Okay.
So we'll approve these with the edit. Rick, you did a first approval,
Oh, yes.
and Will was the second, so I'm just gonna go down your names. Rick, to approve or not approve the meeting minutes?
Yes.
Okay. David?
Yes.
Will?
Yes.
Liz?
Yes.
Jessica?
Are we approving as edited?
Yes.
Yes.
Quinn?
Yes.
Lindsay?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Connor?
Yes.
Christopher?
Yes.
Thank you.
I want that pause recorded.
That's right. Several dots, that was
Okay. All right, park reports, we'll start, how about with Rick?
Oh, okay. And this may be out of order, however, what I would like to make a motion that we allow Aaron to have an excused absence. I don't know if this is the appropriate time, but I think since we've just, verified who is present, I think since he has work, that should be an approved absence, or at least I make that motion. And then I'll go into my park report if we
Okay.
need to do it, take action on that.
Okay, we're excused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an approved, excused absence, I'm sorry. So, I make that motion that Aaron Finn be excused for his absence this evening.
I missed the first part when you were talking about it earlier. How many has he missed this season?
This is his third one that he has missed this year.
So this
Just
would-
curious, I'm not
Yeah.
feeling like I've been inflicting pain on anyone, I just wanted to know.
He would like the record to show that he could make either of the dates in September. The original and the temporarily rescheduled.
So, we made a mistake canceling. Yeah, I second it.
Thank you.
Alright, we're gonna do roll call again.
Okay, we need a formal, okay, we shall take a formal vote on this.
I approve that.
David?
Yes.
Yes. Will?
Yes.
Liz? Yes. Jessica?
Yes?
Quinn?
Yes.
Lindsay?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Connor?
Yes.
Christopher?
Yes.
And the Rivercrest report, I toured the park today. All of the spring-mounted units are in place and look operational. I didn't test them personally. And I checked the men's restroom, it was in good order and clean. It looks like we've transitioned primarily over to soccer, although I think there's still some baseball, softball going on. And most of the litter is in pretty good, so those groups that are using it seem to be policing themselves. There's just random litter occasionally. Park looks to be in good shape. I appreciate all the work that's being done by our department to keep it in order. End of my report.
Woodlands looks good. So I wanted to kind of bring up, Liz, you had mentioned, I don't know, several meetings ago about the little shelters over the benches and that, there was kind of an idea like, why don't we just get rid of those? So I was kind of thinking about that and looking at those and wondering if, maybe it's one needs repair, it just gets dismantled, as they need repair. And
I agree with that too.
yeah, so, or, maybe this is something that, could be looked at to kind of plan about what to do with those, and make some recommendation, like, I don't know, before next year or something.
Yeah, maybe just go, I'm just thinking out loud here. I think that's a good idea, rather than create a whole project and the expense of the project, just through the process of attrition, for lack of a better word, as they become in disrepair, maybe not repair them fully enough. I believe many of them, I don't know if it's due to erosion, but many of them sit high, so your feet would be dangling, you know, even as an adult, if you really wanted to perch on any of those benches.
Like the benches?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's, you know, they were installed high to begin with. I personally don't see people use them very often.
Yeah.
But I do realize it'd be man hours, and then I can imagine those are probably set in concrete and things like that, so.
Yeah,
Sounds
or
like a job.
like what do you do with them if they come down, you know?
It would be easier to remove them than to repair a lot of them.
Yeah.
With the equipment that we have.
Just make
It
mow
has
jobs
been
easier.
discussed, you know, they've probably seen in a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, most of them are original, they've had some, you know, maintenance over the years, but it's just, all in all, the age of them is what has kind of caught up with them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, some of the roofs are bad, some of the equipment inside is bad, whether it's picnic tables or benches. And, yeah, then there was kind of the bush thing, and there's a couple of them that are, you know, ingrown into bushes, and a couple of them under trees that maybe were small trees when they were first put there, but, you know, now they're, like the branches are laying on the roof, so.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I can imagine it'd be a lot of man hours to dig those things out as, you know, as a project. Completely. In the long run, it'll be easier mowing through there if you were to get rid of those. Nothing like driving in circles all day.
Yeah.
a lot of circles out there, around all those trees and
Right.
disc golf, you know, going.
Oh, yeah.
So, do we need to do anything more with that, or is that something I can just throw out there?
I think we merely recommend, you know, and.
Advisement,
see
yeah.
what's-
Okay.
Yeah, and it has been discussed, you know, with my staff, and so, yeah, I would say that's a good possibility for the upcoming season.
Okay. Yeah,
Right-
just
right
as
now-
the ones that are broken, just get them out of there. Yeah, okay. That's all.
Good, thank you.
Those are good winter projects too, if the weather's not too bad.
Sure.
All right, I have 3 no's, and I took a look around, took some pictures, because I think there's some updates that will have to be done soon. I'm sorry, I did print out a whole bunch, I'll give it to you after this. But I did notice quite a few things that probably need to be taken care of sooner rather than later. But one of them was, and there might have been, somebody else might have said this at one point in time, but the handicap spot, so when you come into Three Meadows, that first parking lot there with the basketball hoop, has handicap spots, which is great, and they're marked, but also too, if you park in the handicap spots, if 2 cars park in them, then you're also blocking the pathway to the shelter house and to the rest of the park. So I don't know if we can cut out one of those, not cut them out, but just paint one of those parking spots, you know, with stripes, so that you have room on either side for somebody to get out and actually access the sidewalk. So I do have a picture of it here too. And then I did have a question about, do we do parking lot resealing every year at all? Is that or on a
Yeah,
regular
it's
basis?
on a rotation,
Okay.
yes.
I was wondering, I took a picture of the parking lot.
Some of those that are due out.
Yeah, I'm in a place where I see a parking lot, and we have a parking lot at work that we do on a yearly basis, so I was just kind of curious about that, so. Painting on the shelter house, I think needs to get, I think it needs repainting pretty bad. We have metal doors that they're painted rust. They're painted in a rust color, they're not rusty, but they look like they are. I think it looks tacky and not very, I don't think it suits, it makes the building look old. So I think we do need a facelift of paint, and on the whole shelter house too. I did notice some areas around the shelter house that might be rotting, but we have paint flecking off, and we have some rotting wood around the restroom entrances as well. So I might have been wrong before, but underneath inside the shelter house probably just needs a repaint there's some beams that might need some, that are kind of just peeling a little bit. And then I also noticed that the drains, part of the eaves, are smashed. So I don't know if a mower ran over them. It looks like either kids ran over them or a mower ran over them, but it looks like the tires ran over them. And I do have a question. We have like an electrical box too. I know you can't move those because that's super expensive, and I wouldn't want to, but it's just hanging out there. Kind of a tripping hazard, but also there's a gas meter or something right next to it. And then right next to the shelter house. I don't know if there's a way we can
Oh, okay, that's
hide that or cover it.
backflow device for the water.
Okay.
And then
And then
there's
there's
a
electrical
transformer.
transformer is there too. So they're looking pretty, I don't know.
Just a little landscaping around it.
It doesn't make it doesn't add anything to the party. It actually makes it look not good. Let's see here. Also, I did notice that we had phones, and I know we have phone booths at like different parks around here, but is that something that is required by any particular reason at all, or?
We had those, where there are, maybe a water hazard, like
All right.
Maple Street.
Gotcha.
Just in case someone wouldn't have a cell phone or something. So
Okay.
that's the reason for those locations.
Gotcha. Okay. I was kind of wondering because who has a phone booth there?
That has come up because,
Okay.
the monthly cost too,
And that was my other concern, how much it was costing us to maintain this. I know it's not cheap, so. The one next to the shelter house is a little grimy and grungy. Actually, there might be paint on that one. I don't know if there's a little bit of graffiti, but it probably needs a little bit of cleaning up. So.
The default.
But the booth itself may be on the phone, so. And the other part, and I think a citizen reached out about this, a resident, was there's erosion, concern for erosion around the large pond. So we have it's benches sitting there, and it's kind of perching on a bench too over there. And that's on a good day, but most of the time there's mud or something underneath, and it's are we going to be replacing those benches at any point in time? I did notice around the smaller pond, we did have new benches that seem to have that neat, like plastic composite wood stuff that really holds up during weather. It had a concrete base. Yeah, so that might be good. Are we thinking of that or?
So they can, that's why you're here.
Okay, cool. I highly recommend it because, but there might also be other issues too with the larger pond, because I noticed that there's a lot of erosion around it, and it might be it's just how the pond is. There's a lot of water runoff that creates then little, I don't know, washouts and stuff like
Yeah, I
that.
noticed that, we had built some stone, in
Oh, yeah.
those areas to try
I've seen
to.
that.
I think those get just kind of tossed because it's neat to watch them splash.
You're probably right.
Yeah, so, I just was noticing that the other day, a little tour around the park, and this year seemed to really take its toll.
Yeah.
So,
And we had a lot of torrential heavy rain, and I think honestly, it just kind of made it worse, unfortunately. So, but yeah, we just have you can see where the water's just running off from sidewalks onto the grass and then creating runoff into the pond, and it's just the whole shoreline's probably. I don't know what you do with that. I don't know what's involved with fixing something like that, but it
May
seems
I
like it's a
ask a
bigger
quick
problem.
question? Do we have, this Brody, or is there anyone on staff at the city who knows anything about mitigating issues like that, reducing erosion?
Pond management or something, or.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like,
I'm sure Doug D'Ariano, city engineer.
yeah, an
is well
engineer, I
versed
would
in
imagine
that.
he does some things about surfaces, and water's such a destructive force, that has to be like
Yeah,
a sophomore
yeah,
level
and-
class, and you just keep up with it.
And I did happen to observe that day too. The wind was coming in a different direction, but it was literally lapping on that shoreline where we have all of our benches. And you can see I see how that can get eroded pretty quickly. And I'm sure that shoreline has also changed in the last 10 or so years. And yeah, I took some pictures where some trees, you're like, well, that tree probably wasn't there on the edge, and now it's like almost in the water, so. But, and part of the erosion problem also seems to be, water's kind of eating away at those, concrete pads that we have for the picnic tables as well. And so now we have probably 2 or 3 inches around those slabs that probably just need to fill in dirt to bring the turf up to prevent it from being a hazard to anyone. So, sorry, I'm gonna keep going. I have some more. There's also a lot of signs around, and I know some of them are like warnings for like, hey, don't swim, swim at your own risk, please return the fish to, return the catch, which I think is fine, but it just seemed that there was an excessive amount of signs, like warning signs like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, around the whole time. And things like, there's a red one about vandalism, and I don't know, have we had problems with vandalism at the park before?
Did it have paint on it?
Those are pretty all along.
No paint on either side, but I didn't know. But it felt tacky, and it felt like there's too much signage out there, because I don't know if you need to warn people that vandalism is a crime when everyone knows it's a crime, and you're gonna
There's
get
one at one
in trouble for it
at least
anyway.
over on the school end of it.
You need to get
There's one at
it.
Rotary.
So I don't know if the sign's necessary for something that's
positive
obvious.
messaging, so like, do throw the fish back in the pond.
Please throw the
Do
fish back into the
stay
pond.
out of the pond.
But this is something that I thought of as like, done a lot of, it just felt like it was not very welcoming when it's supposed to be a welcoming place. So, and I don't know if it attracts vandalism if people more
I thought city
signs.
parks just do that by their very nature. They
But it just felt to me like it wasn't very
away
welcoming.
from
So.
home.
And it's in, one of them is leaning backwards, so it kind of like.
I get a lot of experience with it.
There's another handicap sign where we have those, they're not parallel, but they're pulling parkings right there by that second, it's not the shelter, it's
The boathouse.
boathouse. There is a sign out there, but there's no marked spot, no painting, nothing indicating parking right there. And it wasn't very accessible either, so.
Okay, that's
Along next to the boathouse, on the road, yeah, right by the road, just pull right off. They're all white lines, not blue, like they should be, and the parking spot it is in isn't next to anywhere you can get out and wheel a chair out of the car to go onto a path, so it's not accessible. It's, if you had a car on either side, you might as well not even
a
park
lot
there.
of those are on a pretty good slope.
Yeah,
so
it
I
is.
don't-
Yeah.
I think it just needs to be moved over, the sign needs to be moved over one to the right, and that probably will take care of the problem, because it just needs to have at least one side that I think would be accessible, and that right side would be better. Moved over one on the right, the right side would be accessible to someone who's handicapped. And also the bushes are still overgrown around the signs, both signs, both of the signs, so, I don't know, yeah, that'd be great to.
I think we'll be removing the ones at the small pond, just going to be about half devoured by some, what's it? Leadworm? Or,
Oh.
Bagworms, yeah.
Yeah.
The arborvitae's there.
Yeah, so both of them look, I mean, they're just overgrowing both sides, so I don't know if you want to take both of them out at the same time, just to brighten it up and make it look young. Yeah, sidewalks too, I noticed was kind of, just in general, the sidewalks had lots of grass growing up in between all those, regular cracks that that are placed there, and it seemed to me it's just pushing and growing, and eventually would break up our sidewalks, so I thought that was something too. So my general thoughts are, I think Three Meadows should have an eventual update or facelift at some point. It's unfortunately just needs a refresh at some point. So that's pretty much all I have. I'll get to see here. So thank you. I'm sorry for such a long list, everyone.
No, thank you very much.
No, I think it's probably way overdue.
All right.
So can I get a PowerPoint?
Oh.
A high-def PowerPoint, half hour long?
Right. Spec animation.
Yeah.
That's fine. So,
Is that
thank
all you
you.
have?
That is all I have. That concludes my report for 3 minutes.
Good, thank you. Liz?
Yeah, but before I report on my parks, I want to thank this board for bringing up the basketball issue in August. I meant to say something that night, but on the other things, so it's been on my mind.
You're welcome. I'm just gonna talk about it when you get up. So you're-
So I wanted to get that out before I forget again. I have Milestone Park, and for the most part, it looks okay. It could also use some TLC, just in terms of work on some of the shrubs. There is a decorative split rail fence. If you're facing the bench area of Milestone Park, there's a split rail fence on the side that kind of comes out. It's truly just decorative, if that's what you would call decoration, and it's collapsing. So it's either needs to go or it needs to be rebuilt. I did not get up close to it to see if it was rot or just, weight placed on it inappropriately or something like that. And then I was at Hood Park last weekend, and it looks like it's in mostly good shape. I thought, I'll ask in a minute about the flagpole. I noticed that there's that seating area that was rebuilt a year or two ago on the back side of Hood Park. And there's a slab there, a picnic table, but access to that's really awkward. Was there originally a path that would have gone there? I think now there's maybe even construction tape or something like that indicating that there's something janky going on at the top of the stairs. I'm not talking about the large stairwell, but that little stairs that goes down to just that little
I
private.
used to go down to a home that was down there.
Really?
That was part of the patio. And,
The home was removed and the patio remained, more or
yeah,
less?
so it was just kind of.
Fascinating. So it's kind of I hate to use the word afterthought, right? Because then it seems like it wasn't worth doing.
Well,
I
it
think it's
sounds
a
like a
cute
gift.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it'd be nice to have a more formal pathway there, or even I don't know how you make people aware that, I mean, I guess you could put like a little picnic table sign nearby, an arrow that kind of indicates that there's a picnicking space there. People might go there to take a dinner or eat ice cream or something.
It does, gets used
It's
somewhat, I think with the construction there at the boat club, it's kind of hampered maybe, the people
Possible.
venturing that
It's probably
way.
a well-kept secret in the city that there's a picnic table there.
It's, I think it's been, there. We put the staircase in, the handrail.
Yeah.
I think it's been about 2 years now.
Mhm. Yeah, I just thought that would be, look a little more formal, a little more intentional, rather than, it just happens to be here kind of thing. So, the flagpole, I guess maybe I heard at our last meeting that it hadn't been dealt with because of, the issue that you raised about, and I mean, by you, I mean Ms. Warren, being raised about the Native American remains possibly, is that what I heard at the last meeting? I just didn't know what the movement was on repair of that.
Yeah, I haven't had any updates on it.
Yeah, I'm not getting upset about it, I still think it could be scraped off and repainted, but apparently it cost us as much to just replace the whole thing. That's really all I have to say. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, I have Orleans Park, and I was there over the weekend. The park looks great. It looks like people took the hint from the ice last year and are taking their kayaks and canoes with them. There are hardly any on the racks, and they're no longer overflowing the racks, so that's good. We'll let weather be their guide. And then also, although most of the leaves are still on the trees, the path is completely covered in leaves. So I don't know what you have leaves. So I don't know if you have like a leaf collecting huge machine.
It's called a lawnmower.
A lawnmower, okay. Good, you might need to do some lawnmower
Maybe
passes.
some mulching there, once they start falling.
Yeah.
And or blowers.
Okay.
Where was your rake?
See, I was starting to like, oh, I should just go home and bring my broom and I'll tidy this up myself. But I did not have infinity time over the weekend, so I was not able to do that.
It's gonna get worse too.
I think it's gonna get a lot worse because it looks like all the trees are still green and then the path is still
They're gonna fall late this year, right?
And we get, the snow blower takes care of a lot of them too, I think.
Yeah. Right, Gwen?
Alright, so I have Davis Overlook, and unlike Orleans, it's been very clean, and I just wanted to thank you guys for that. Like, whenever I drive by, because I live right by there, I was just there the other day. It's always been very cleared. Like, you guys know, the big long driveway down to the nice parking lot. I've never seen any brush or leaves on it. It's always kept very clean, and just the park in general is for being in the woods. That's all good. Good, thank you.
I have Eisenhower. It looks really nice. The fence is still broken.
Wow.
That's been like a year. It's broken at 2 spots too. So I don't know. And I
They're not like falling though. They're
yeah, they are now. They're
all
falling
down.
now. Yeah, because I saw you when I went and fixed them and they were straight, and then now they're falling again. I also thought that the actual Eisenhower sign was falling, but it's just severely tilted. So I don't know if you want to check that to make sure it's not falling. But that's it. Other than that, it looks really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I have municipal park, and they're probably getting tired of me saying this, but the basketball hoop at the south end is in a down position, and it is frozen. You can't move it up or down from that position. The bathrooms at municipal park were in super shape. I walked in and wow. Usually a lot of times when there's nobody around, it kind of gets messed up to a certain extent. But it was in great shape. It was so clean, it's unbelievable. So I don't know whether they just cleaned it or what out there. The tennis court, one of the nets is down. And it looks like they broke the cable or something, but I think they took the cable totally out of that, out of the top of the net on there. It's one of the tennis courts.
Yeah, I did see that on Friday, and we do have replacement nets.
Okay.
So when we get there.
All right. Pickleball, the new fences out there look really great. Really look nice. I've probably, since our last meeting, I've probably been out there 12 to 15 times. And I have seen people out there playing. I have seen 6 or 8 people out there playing. And I've seen 20 to 30 people out there. So it's really getting used. And in previous times that I've been out there, last year and year before, for the tennis courts, I never saw anybody playing tennis. And I think that this was probably one of the really good uses of money spent for getting people to use our parks. So it's good. The only thing with the new fence that you put up, I think we need to get some of that plastic, yellow plastic, to put along the top of the fence, like they have out in the ball fields, in the outfield. I think pickleball probably needs it more than the outfield in the baseball field, because the pickleball court is so close to the fence. It's not more than 6 or 7 feet from that fence. And when you do it old like me, it takes a little bit longer for you to slow down while you're running full speed. So I think the yellow.
Just gotta let them go sometimes.
So I think that we need to very quickly put that, because somebody's gonna get hurt on top of that fence. That's all I have.
Okay, good, thank you. Connor?
I have Rotary Park, and first of all, I'm glad to hear the building was approved. Some of the bushes on the outside of the running track are looking dead, and like the ones around it are also like alive. So I don't know if that's, I don't know if maybe it's fall or what the deal is, but whatever it is. And then I see in the minutes that 12 of the trash can holder things are coming, and I'm just wondering if they're here or if they're still on their way. That's all I have.
Thank you. Chris?
I have Bicentennial Park, widely recognized as the #1 park in all of Harrisburg.
What's her?
And I've only got 3 items. The first one is the walking path. It's got developed some ruts, and Perrysburg Junior High track team uses that to run on. I know they were out there the other day, they did trash pickup on it. It's good. Just something to keep in mind. My little silver buddy, the water dish, is back over there. And he had all kinds of creepy crawlies swimming around it, so he accidentally got there. And the pine trees along the south and west side of the park, it's like the death is spreading. Like it's climbing up the trees. It looks horrible.
Is it wet there?
Not
water
really on that end, it's the
spring?
north end that's really bad. But the south end just looks, I mean,
I
there's
see
not.
pine trees dying everywhere, and I thought maybe they don't like the wet spring, having their feet in water.
But it's not befitting the #1 park in Perrysburg. That's all I have.
But the water bowl is back.
I know what, it's a curse, it's like a Halloween movie.
Maybe you need signage that says no water bowls.
Yeah, give you that littering sign or vandalism
Yeah,
sign,
put it
I'll
on
just
the back.
Crayola over that.
Would you like to dispute the best part?
What?
Would you like to dispute the best part, or?
I would like, yes, I would.
Okay.
Okay, Tom, let's step outside.
When he's talking trash like he did at the beginning, he better not be absent, because when we vote on excuses, I'm voting no.
Okay, so, let's go time.
This is going
All right.
to be more contentious in the record.
Did anyone forget anything about the park report that they would like to add prior to moving on to number 4?
Not forgotten. However, I wanted to mention as an addendum to Connor's report on Rotary Park.
Yes.
There is a community event that will be hosted there on October 27th between 1 and 4. Rotary is hosting a community event there, Fall into Rotary Park. So you're all invited, the whole community is invited. But it'll be an opportunity to show off the park before it gets its new addition, as well as just to invite people to visit the park, and hopefully we'll have great weather. So it's a Sunday. So if you can come by, it'd be a good opportunity to take a look around.
Good, thank you very much.
Thank you. 27.
All right, so our next item is an update on the City Department of Public Service, Greg.
I was asked to do a brief report, and okay. All
That's good, Greg, I like that. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Just wanted to give you a couple updates on some of the things that we've done here recently. Some have already been mentioned. Pickleball fencing that's completed at Municipal Park. Also completed a new playground play system at Tree Meadows playground.
Looks
That was-
great.
Yeah, okay, and that's for age group 2 to 5, and that was part of the Wood County Parks grant that we did receive, so that's a well needed piece of equipment that was there, so I think that really helped in that area. I do have a park bench to install yet in that playground area. You know, we had some requests from some parents, you know, about having a little bench that would be closer, so we've got that in the works as well. Let's see. We're currently working with North Branch Nursery on some landscape details for Riverside Park for the lower level, just to help clean that up. Originally, there was some plant material that's not, that's kind of invasive, you know, and was kind of taken over along with some of the weeds as well. So we're looking at, you know, planting that, making it more, I would say, maintenance friendly, and hopefully it'll look better too. So that's ongoing. Also, we're looking at the same thing with Wood Park, planning, you know, to do something with them terraces and to, you know, bring that back to what it was. So that's ongoing as well. Toledo Zoo, they will be adding plant material and wildflowers on the hillsides there at Riverside. They'll be doing plugs this fall and then also in the spring. And hopefully that'll bring that project around. And that really is a multi-year, you know, the longer that goes, the more it's going to fill and, you know, become what we're, you know, wanting. So it's kind of in the ugly duck stages. They're working through that, you know, with, you know, the pulling up the invasive weeds and stuff like that. So just give us a little patience there with that. New gutters and downspouts were added to Woodland Park, Rivercrest, and the Three Meadows Boathouse. So hopefully some of the flooding, you know, around the shelter buildings, because it was just pure runoff before with, you know, no gutters or downspouts. So that's they were completed, I believe, last week. And then starting actually tomorrow, the city crews will be doing the shared bike lanes. We'll be painting those along front Indiana and Louisiana Avenue. So I'll be watching for those.
I'll do the happy dance.
Let's see. Leaf collection will be starting on the west side of town, October 21st. And that'll continue into, well, we'll start our last round after Thanksgiving. Yep, so we'll be out there, so continue to rake your leaves, get them out to the curb. I've got like 5 right now.
I know.
Lawnmower will take care of most of them, yeah, but yeah, I've seen some piles out there already.
Oh, really?
Probably in the last couple of weeks. Which is kind of
Cottonwood trees are dropping like nuts, but, you know.
And just, you know, regular, you know, maintenance, most of our summer help is long gone, back to school. So we do have a couple stragglers, a retiree, and then we do still have one student on board that goes to school twice a week. So he's there with us 3 days a week. So that helps us immensely. Just trying to keep up. And once we get into the leaf season, then we're looking at converting to snow. So it's kind of a quick transition, you know, once the weather starts changing. So we'll try to keep up as best we can.
Great, thank you very much. Anyone else have anything else for Greg? Before we move on to number 5? Okay. All right, so number 5, Deborah, talking about the August and September Recreation Committee.
Okay, hello everybody. Thanks a lot for all that you do. Appreciate it. And I appreciate all your detail as well. And yours as well, Greg. As far as the August and the September Recreation Committee reports, the reports have been approved by council and are available online. And in the future, I would probably suggest that perhaps we could have that sent to all of you so you have copies of it. So I'll make sure that we do that. Also, because of the new codification of the ordinances, which is a definition for the Recreation Committee, which we now have on the books, anything that you have, please send it to the Recreation Committee. We'll take a look at it.
What do you mean? Do you
Suggestions, or something that you may have.
Okay,
Please send it to us.
Okay.
Trying to think of anything else I was going to say. And then after that, we will send it to the law director if there's something that would need to be looked at as far as legislation goes.
Okay.
Okay? Anybody else?
I have one thing, Deborah.
Yeah.
From your August meeting minutes from PRAC. So your second point about having a way to pass a motion to full committee.
Right.
So my proposal is for us to add to the bylaws. We talked about the bylaws last time, the 280.07 report to council. So I would suggest that we add another item to our bylaws to make and pass motions to be sent to city administration or council or another committee. Because like we talked about last time, there was one for
we already
zoning.
just so you understand it and you're clear on it, we already passed it on at city council about the codification. So that means if you have any suggestions or something that you would like for legislation,
Right.
you need to send that to the Recreation Committee, and we'll take a look at it.
Could you send us a copy of your
It's online.
language? Okay.
It's online. I can see if we have another copy for you.
Okay.
You can take a look at it, but it does mention that PRAC does need to send their legislation, if it's something like that, to us to take a look at, or suggestions to us. Meaning the Rec Committee.
Does that conflict with what we have here already, that we should render to council an annual report relating to the activities of the committee and other periodic reports and recommendations as may be appropriate?
I don't know that it would conflict.
Okay.
I mean, I think it would be helpful to have anything that you are thinking about so we aren't, going in there blind, so to
Right.
speak. I don't think that we ever are, but if you
Okay.
have something that you want to submit to us,
Right.
such as Liz's comment about the basketball court, and something like that, we can take a look at it.
Okay. So, I guess the only thing I have here is that we would like to take a look at the ordinance. Would you be able
We
to
already
get that
have
done?
passed it on council. The codification has been passed on council, just so you're clear on that.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying we want to make
Oh, you
comments.
just want,
I
you just want
to
the
read it
you want the
because-
definition?
Yeah, because it has things about
Should
PRAC
be,
in it.
it should be part of, it's just one line. It should be part of the codification of ordinances. And I can check with the law director and then see if we can send that out to you. It was at our last council meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure
Actually,
that
the
we,
council meeting before the last one.
I just wanted to make sure that we followed any ordinance that was out
Sure,
there.
absolutely.
Okay, so just, okay.
I'll have
so we'll
her,
get-
I'll have her send it to you and I have a copy of it as well.
Okay,
Okay? Is that it?
Thank you for bringing up in August point number 3.
Sure.
For my concern about like the parks and the whole part of town and stuff like that. So
Sure.
thank you for bringing that up with
Sure.
that, because I know that like that's near and dear to my heart.
Sure, that's fine.
And I was like, you know what? I was like, there are a lot of parks in the old downtown part.
Yes.
Older uptown
Yes.
part, I'm gonna say.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I think, and you're right, that there's parks there, and there's some parks in the newer part too.
Mm-hmm.
But I did that, and I'd still like to say, I think we still should do south of 475. I was just taking a look at some of the dates on here, and they're older than me, most of them. Actually, 2 of them are not. River Crest, I'm sorry, 96, it was built in. I mean, that was after me. And Rotary after me. But everything else, 1967 for Bicentennial, 1980 for Woodland.
Oh, Bicentennial was 1976.
1976? Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense because it's Bicentennial.
Okay.
I think maybe the
Three Meadows.
date I come up with may have been when the land was maybe purchased.
That could be.
Maybe in anticipation for it,
Yeah.
10 years
Could
before
be.
licensing. But I think it just kind of drives like, yes, we need to like really consider putting a park in. We'll get something to you. I'd love to
Send something to
do
us, and
something.
we need to find out if
Yeah.
there is land available from the city. The city has land available. That would be the issue.
So looking forward to working with you to
Thank you.
to get some parks.
Thank you.
So
I would like to support what you have to say. I think we all benefit from the foresight of the generations that came before us and setting aside land before it's developed. Once it's paved, once it's covered with houses, it's hard to undo that. And so we need to look ahead into the future and think about what future residents will need, what wildlife will need, and that sort of thing. So I think you're right on target there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
anything else? Thank you again for all you're doing.
Well, perhaps. Actually, no, because my notes about the parks were the September thing, so I guess I said my piece there. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so, for, number 6, since it is, 5 to 8 right now, our plan is to have this done by our next meeting. So we all have, this, marked up copy of the Code of Ordinances with the red that, the law director provided to us. So this was based on, our markups and our discussion from the last meeting. Looking through this, does anyone have any issues that they see right now? I want to make sure that you guys have time, so we will revisit this again next meeting before we let the law director know that these are our final edits. Does anyone see anything right now in the chapter 280? Okay, and then the other thing that we have are these bylaws. So the bylaws look like this box, and then we have one that there's some words. These are the words that we talked about last time. Everyone should have one of these at their desk also. So these are our proposed bylaws that go along with the Code of Ordinances sections. So this one's rather short, so I'll mention them. So in the officers' meetings and quorum, this is one of the things that we talked about last time, or talked about earlier today. So no term limits, members may be excused, and missing 3 consecutive meetings or 1/2 of the meetings unexcused would result in removal. So we talked about excused meetings earlier, and in the 280.03, there's some discussion about unexcused absences. And then also here for 280.07, periodic reports may be the meeting minutes, because 280.07 talks about periodic reports, we clarified that there, and then meeting minutes should be provided to the city council members. So we can talk about if that means just posting on the city's website, as they all are, or if we're sending them to them electronically, or similar. Okay, does anyone have any other bylaws that they can think of right now, or any changes to these?
Given what we learned from the board a moment ago, should we add language to 07 regarding reporting our consensus directly to the rec committee?
Right,
Rather
so,
than, in the past, I always viewed the council member as the conduit for our amazing ideas. But what I'm hearing now is that's not the case, so we need to just directly.
Liz, that's not true. That's not true.
I'm not, what I'm saying is that, we should assume that it's getting passed. So you're saying we need to do it more formally.
I'm just saying to make it to make it more official, so if you had something you want brought forward.
It wasn't a dig, it really wasn't, it was.
No, I
that-
just wanted you to be aware, so you.
Okay,
So should we have that language there saying we need to report directly any of our recommendations? Does that make sense?
yes.
That actually state that in here rather than assuming that future folks will know that.
So, what we'll do is we'll get the wording from the city code change that was just made, and then we will write similar wording to, 280.07. And we will, do that between now and the next meeting. How's that? Okay. Anyone have something else?
Should we put in here that we should operate under Robert's Rules of Order? Or, I think it would bring order to how we facilitate everything. So everything else seems to be, I think it would be probably a wise idea to operate that way, as everyone else does.
I respect your opinion, I've never had used that a lot, but I
If
respect.
I need to learn myself, but I
Please
think
go ahead.
If I may,
Yeah.
I would like to mention that it would be probably best if you could do electronic, your meetings to all of the council members.
Oh, okay.
As well as the administration. Ms. Cabot, the law director, Greg Poor, and the mayor.
And you're talking here about,
I'm
recommendations, not just.
I don't want to be unclear. I'm referring to your report, when you do your report, so everybody has it. Is that helpful?
The year-end report.
No, your monthly, when you do your monthly.
Monthly.
That's all right, your
Do you-
monthly, I know what you mean.
Okay, do you mean if we have a recommendation or the meeting minutes?
Both.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, understand, so meeting minutes should be provided electronically to city council members and city administration.
Right.
And then, the last thing that I wrote down was recommendations go directly to the recreation committee. Were you saying that those would go also to city council members and administration?
They would go to us, they would go to
First.
city council, to the recreation committee of council.
Okay,
That's
okay,
right.
then I've got it. All right,
First.
thank you.
You got it.
Okay. I will talk to the law director about Robert's Rules of Order.
or whatever, you know, if we have a hybrid system that we operate off of it.
And then share a YouTube video that is a tutorial.
Yeah. Could I just throw in on that? I mean, I guess I'm still fairly new to this, but this is just a recommendation committee. Would that make this committee better doing that?
It brings a little bit of order. Back when I was on the Charter Review Commission, we operated that way. Roll calls, votes. It wasn't strict. It wasn't strictly that way. And there's a lot of nuance to Robert's rules. But I think if we adopted just generally, it might help. Just keep
Okay.
everything flowing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would just be concerned that we get tripped up in the rules of having a meeting and lose sight
That's
of
very true.
The content.
the
That's a very
content and the
yeah.
purpose, yeah, since
Yeah.
this is just a citizens advisory committee, I wonder if we really need.
Maybe I'm thinking more like voting wise, but like when we come down to our votes and roll calls and stuff like that, that's what have been recommendations when we say, I don't know if we can pass a resolution, but say, hey, we would like to make this recommendation, we all should be on record for it. And we kind of did it today, but
Right.
I think it would be wise to put our names to it. So,
Thank you. Anyone have anything else right now? Keeping in mind that you are allowed to continue thinking and mention something next time. Okay. All right, so I've got a review of action items. So our first item is the pass out list of the missing meeting minutes. So that's to everyone to bring any missing meeting minutes that they have to our next meeting. My second item is that I'm going to email Weatherman Ryan of Wood County Plays to see if he or someone from his group can attend our November meeting. My next one is everyone is invited to the Rotary event on Sunday, October 27th, 1 to 4 p.m. Thank you, Rick. And then fourth one, to get the wording from the city code from the law director. And also, and then I will do that. And then also, my last one, number 5, is I will run by these edits to the bylaws by the law director prior to the next meeting. Did anyone have any other items?
Can I add a couple things that I noticed that this is probably something for administration to work on. The website needs a little bit of updating in regards to us. Our dates need to be changed online in regards to November. I think December's on there. Not November. It does not have November on there.
Okay.
But we'll probably have to change everything anyway after the New Year.
Yeah, would they be waiting for this?
It has a list of members and has a list of the meeting dates. But that is incorrect, and it should be correct because if somebody came to come to the next meeting, that it's not there. So I'd say that. And also, I don't believe this is assigned to us, but Davis Overlook is not on the website either. So all the other parks have a but I don't think this is.
All right, so I've got website.
That's the newest one.
Website needs to be updated.
I was just curious what it was until I almost committed to drive by and what is that?
Okay, so I've got website needs to be updated for meeting dates, the members, and the parks.
Yes.
Okay, so Heather, I will talk to you after this and see how we can do that. Okay, anyone have anything else? Okay, so our next meeting is Monday, November 4th at this current location at 7 p.m. And during that meeting, we will set the schedule for 2020, finalize the code, and finalize the bylaw changes. Anyone have anything else?
I did have did want to mention that, one of the dates, right? The Gold Star Memorial groundbreaking. Let's see, at Riverside Park.
October 18th.
I've got it all down here somewhere.
We go.
October 18th at 10 a.m.
Do you know what day of the week then?
Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
Friday, 10 a.m.
What is that?
The Gold Star monument that's going to be at Riverside Park. That's, I don't really know the whole story on that, but it's for, is it active?
Local deceased, right?
Deceased.
Veterans.
Okay.
Do you get a gold star by passing an act when you're active duty, or is it at any time? I don't know. Active. Killed action, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Greg. All right, that's all. Thank you very much. See you next time.